Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. Blizzard revealed the new Hearthstone Core Set for 2023 yesterday, and in this video I'm going to take a look at the 14 strongest cards that they are adding to the core set. Overall, the core set now is significantly stronger than last year's. The cards that are leaving are generally much weaker than the cards that are added. There are not many cards that leave that actually will be missed, like there's Reno, I guess, but there are so many strong cards that are being added to the core set. Blizzard also said that this year they are going to be able to tweak the core set mid-year. They're willing to do that, so we'll see how the core set develops over time. And one more note about core set being very strong this time, that doesn't necessarily translate into a pure core set decks. I will of course try to build core set decks later on, but typically core set cards are in support roles. You lack win conditions if you only have the core set available, so you still need some other tools to go with the core set cards. But that said, the core set this time has some real bangers, and here are the 14 best of them. So at number 14 we have Rustrot Viper. Rustrot Viper, well, it's currently available in Standard and it was supposed to rotate out, but it's not going anywhere because it gets added to the core set. Acidic Swamp Ooze is leaving, and this will now be the premium weapon destruction card, tradable. It's just a beautiful card, really something that I would have missed if it had left Standard, but it's not leaving Standard after all. This card, on the other hand, is coming back to Standard, the Cult Neophyte. I have had so many great times playing with Cult Neophyte in Standard. Cult Neophyte still sees a bunch of play in Wild, mostly in even decks, but still sees play in Wild, so that tells you something about the power level of the card. Cult Neophyte, 2 mana, 3/2, battlecry your opponent's spells cost 1 more next turn. If you're playing against spell-based decks, this at the right time just messes up their curve, messes up their plans, allows you to sneak that win. And speaking of powerful early game neutral cards, it doesn't get better than Tour Guide. Tour Guide, 1 mana 1/1, battlecry your next hero power costs 0. You can use this in so many ways. Whenever there's any cards that synergize with hero power, Tour Guide is always available. Just a wonderful card. Mostly played in Warlock, still sees play in Wild too. Just slam this into your deck. You have free hero power. What's there not to like? Demon Hunter is getting a powerful returning card. That's Illidari Studies. 1 mana, discover an outcast card, your next one costs 1 less. So essentially you're paying nothing in order to discover an outcast card that will go into outcast position in your hand, and the outcast card pool is pretty limited, so you also know the stuff that you're going to get from this. It's a wonderful card. It still sees play in Demon Hunter in Wild, and it's just splendid. I expect this to see a lot of play in Demon Hunter. Then a returning card that is a little bit different than most core set cards, because Dragonbane is definitely a card that wins games. Dragonbane is not here just to support your other stuff, Dragonbane is here to win. A 4 mana 3/5 mech, after you use your hero power, deal 5 damage to a random enemy. Beautiful hunter card. This was used in plenty of aggressive hunter decks. We'll see about its power level in the current meta, but in the Standard meta, fresh after rotation, this should be good. When it comes to power in the core set, Priest is one of the big winners this time. And one of Priest's most powerful cards, Shadow Ascendant. Shadow Ascendant is not only coming back, it's also getting a buff. That's why there's a low quality graphic of this. There wasn't a high quality graphic available yet. 2 mana 2/3 undead. At the end of your turn, give another random friendly minion +1/+1. Because Undead Priest right now is a thing, and now that this gets 1 extra health, this used to be a 2/2, now it's going to be a 2/3, and that makes a world of difference. You can expect Undead Priest to get some stuff going, get some Shadow Ascendants on the board, maybe even resurrect them somehow. We'll see about that. And boom, just blast through, being very aggressive. But this is a card that makes me really happy to see in core set. Probably my second favorite inclusion in this set. It's Doggie Biscuit for Hunter. We're just about to lose Doggie Biscuit, and Doggie Biscuit built the entire way we play Hunter nowadays, with minions and then buffing those minions. Without Doggie Biscuit, none of that would have been possible. We were just about to go back to just slamming hero power, and then I guess we get Dragonbane, so maybe we want to slam hero power anyway. conflicting messages I'm getting here. But Doggie Biscuit it's coming into Core Set, so we don't have to give it up quite yet. Did I mention that Core Set typically supports and doesn't give you the win conditions? Because Armor Vendor is one powerful tool. We're losing Mistress of Mixtures. Mistress of Mixtures, Armor Vendor, these are the typical one-cost minions that you play in control-oriented decks, and Armor Vendor is the better performing one out of the two. So, Armor Vendor, 1 mana 1/3, Battlecry, give 4 armor to each hero. Mistress of Mixtures is a loss. It's one of the few cards that are actually good that we're going to lose, but we are going to get, as a replacement, an even better version. And then there is this Shaman card, and this Shaman card is a real blast from the past. Thing from Below. 6 mana 5/5 taunt, costs 1 less for each totem you have summoned this game. Still sees extensive play in Wild, in even Shaman, and yeah, Thing from Below. Right now we have a bunch of totem summoning cards in the game from expansion from last year, so they are going to stay in standard format for this year as well. So there just might be enough support to get some of these 5/5 taunts on the board. So Thing from Below coming to Shaman near you with the new Core Set. Oh, and about that Priest winning big. This is big. Darkbishop Benedictus. 5 mana 5/6 start of game if the spells in your deck are all shadow and the shadow form. So okay, Benedictus doesn't rotate out, it just gets into core, which means that effectively you're going to be able to play Shadow Priest still in the next year. We're going to be totally fine. Priest, this guarantees that Priest will be a contender. The aggressive Priest decks will be a contender when 2023 comes around. Also, if you now choose the starter deck, the new returning player deck, that gives you Darkbishop Benedictus, that's going to be the old version. So once the Core Set comes, you can disenchant that for 400 dust, and you get a new Core Set version that you can put into your deck. So yeah, that Priest deck just got a lot more attractive. Probably still not quite as valuable as the Rogue deck, but still. Great deck, and now it also has a future. And if that was not enough for Priest, Priest also gets to keep the most premium silence tool in the game ever in its history, Shard of the Naaru. Tradable, silence all enemy minions. Like, this card is totally bonkers, still super powerful also in wild format, and now going into Core Set, stays in standard format as well. Priest will have premium silence all year long. Maybe not all year long, because they said that they're going to tweak the Core Set mid-year, possibly this time, but, well, some of the year long. Pure Paladin will lose Alliance Bannerman to the rotation, so you won't be able to have that card draw plus hand buff anymore, but it does get Hand of Adal, which draws a card, gives a minion +2/+1, still a beautiful card. Great addition to Paladin, just here to make sure that Pure Paladin doesn't get hurt too badly. But this one is a real beauty. Dirty Rat, coming to Core Set. One of the most popular anti-combo tools from Wild at the moment. 2 mana, 2/6 taunt, Battlecry, your opponent summons a random minion from their hand. There are so many ways to play. There's so much Hearthstone to be played with this card. When do you play it? What are you going to summon from the hand? When do you take the chance? I mean, 2 mana, 2/6, those are pretty good stats as well. You can play this against aggressive decks. Maybe they don't get the resources that they need, and Dirty Rat just shuts them down off the game. And it's a wonderful card, one of the most popular cards in wild format, and now it's also going to come into standard format. The only real question is, do we have enough combo decks? There's types of decks that Dirty Rat is good against in standard, but we'll see about that. Anyway, still one of the most powerful cards coming to the Core Set. But this one is the most powerful of them all. This is the card that I'm looking forward to the most. It's Defile. Warlock spell, 2 mana, deal 1 damage to all minions if any die, cast this again. Setting up those beautiful boards that Defile can then clear, sometimes playing some of your own really cheap minions to get any sort of breakpoints happen. And yeah, Defile is one of the most skill intensive cards in the game. It's, yeah, this is the kind of Hearthstone that I love to play with Defile. It's a beautiful card, it's a super powerful card, it's still a really popular card also in wild format. It's coming to Core Set, it's going to be available in standard. I can't wait to build some Contra Warlock decks, because building those with Defile, that's going to be beautiful. And this is the most powerful card coming to the Core Set. All 14 cards showcased in this video are super strong. Core Set really is upping its game, and I really look forward to being able to play with all of these cards. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.